Hello comrades, Commissar bro here today. Superpower 2, playing as Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is probably the most requested country I've had in a while. So I figured, why not give them a shot? So, basically what we're going to do is, first off, we are going to get rid of, well, relatively all of research. We'll keep just a little wee bit. We're going to bump up government to a higher amount. We are going to bump up infrastructure all the way. What else are we going to do? Tourism is just awful here, apparently. We'll bump that up a bit, too, just to make sure that it doesn't lower, because if it lowers, it takes forever to get back up. So, with that in mind, I'm going to lower healthcare a bit, but I'm going to raise education in its stead. Okay. We are going to raise the interest level of this bitch to get rid of all that inflation that is so terribly high, and it must be dealt with forthwith. Blah 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 blah. Random British speak. Alright. So we'll bump this up to 65 should be appropriate. Yep, just a little bit 65, yep. Instability. Oh yes, I'm a fan of instability. It happens all the time. Alright, so our approval rating tanked, of course. The usual expectation. You know what? Let's actually bump this up to 70%. That might give us closer to a solid white number. No, I guess not. Okay, whatever. We'll just let everything grow for now. Let's go ahead and put it on 24. I'm going to pop that down to 69.9. The population relatively hates us. However, approval is going to rise rather quickly. Again, I think this is going to be another country where we don't have to rely on anybody else to actually get a positive balance. Like, most importantly, we just need to get inflation down. Inflation is just so high right now that it's going to hurt us in the long run if we don't get rid of it as fast as we possibly can. So with our interest level at 22.1%, we should just watch that number tank. Now, as for actual income, we could arguably raise the tax modifier. We could raise our actual personal income taxes more, but I don't think we'll have to. Because look, I mean, Kazakhstan's meeting in a lot of areas. Really all you have to do is give it time for services to start meeting, and it pretty much runs itself. Like, this isn't essentially a hard country to play as. Again, it's not, I don't know, it's not one of the African countries who really, they're the ones who generally have a huge deficit to deal with. They have, like, they're very, very low income. Their per capitas are always incredibly low. Like, for example, 985, 589, 76. So it's pretty clear that, like, you can see we have 5,145. So it's not really hard for these guys to get out of debt or to make a quick dollar. The main catch is, like I said, if you want to play it safe, you can. That's pretty much what I'm doing now. I don't want to inhibit resource growth, so I'm not raising any of these taxes. The global tax mod, I'm leaving it alone. So we pretty much just have to wait for production to get higher, which it will. As you can see, look, it's just slowly, our actual balance and income is slowly rising, and our expenses are dropping drastically. They're already down to 4.4 on inflation. Our unemployment rate is lowering. Our below the poverty line is lowering. Our per capita is raising. This is kind of where you see, you know, where we're watching the actual growth happen here. Now we should probably drop this down to 0. Yeah, I'm thinking 0 should be good, and it'll kind of catch itself. Yeah, look at that. Boom! Look at that. Positive balance, ladies and gentlemen. Positive balance. And I think stability is going to stay relatively high. What we could actually do is, when you start making positive balance like this, you pretty much have one of two options. Either A, you can focus on paying off your debt, Or B, you can focus on lowering your taxes. Or, I mean, you could just go take over another country. So, like, we could take over one of our neighbors. The problem is, though, none of our direct neighbors are better than us. Like, none of them have higher resource counts. So all we would be doing is inheriting their consumption. You see what I mean? Like, this right here is a prime example of why we wouldn't want to take over Tajikistan yet. It wouldn't be worth our time. Maybe Turkmenistan, because it has 61%. It's actually over in some areas, like energy, as we can see, and food and agriculture. So it could be worth it, but then it still has a very high deficit in services. So, you know, that would kind of be at your discretion. But it wouldn't be a bad idea if you wanted to do it. And now back to our country. We are doing great, ladies and gentlemen. We are doing great. I'm going to lower taxes. There we go, about 3 or 4%. And just keep letting that debt get paid off. As long as you don't affect it too much, we should be fine. And the population's approval is going to keep rising. Corruption is going to keep lowering. Stability is going to lower a little bit. But that's why we want to bring down these taxes as fast as we can. To help, you know, the stability stay as high as we need it. We don't want to go too low now, do we? No, we do not. Not at all. Not at all. Let's see. Aside from that, I think this is kind of the gist of what you can do with Kazakhstan. Again, I think with Kazakhstan, it would be kind of cool to, like, just make a little Kazakh United States or something like that right here. Like, just take over all the stands and then just make, you know, have a giant country and unite it and have that. But you would have to be careful because you've got these very powerful countries nearby. I mean, there's India, and then there's China, there's Russia, and you still have Pakistan, and Pakistan doesn't exactly have, well, I guess it does have a flop over. No, that's Afghanistan. There you go, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, see, Pakistan doesn't exactly have a rollover military. So, you know, it's kind of something you need to keep a wary eye out for. You could take over Afghanistan, which, I mean, I guess wouldn't be that big of a deal. You could beat the rebels. So these are all hypotheticals of things that you could do. And, like, right now we have a negative balance, but honestly, I'm really not concerned about it. I know growth is going to happen quite naturally. Yes, it will. As we can see, our services are slowly rising. Bit by inevitable bits, that's right. Anyway, so this has been Commissar Bro, playing through the first year as Kazakhstan, kind of giving you some tips and some ideas. And, like, even right now, I could just get out of debt by raising taxes again. But I'm trying to get stability to rise. I don't want stability to go any lower, so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I want corruption to go down, approval, and so on and so forth. But anyway, oh, see, look at that. It kind of just erected itself. It fixed itself because my resources just kept growing. So, anyway, this has been Commissar Bro. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.